It's gonna turn around. I'm coming, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. Okay, there you go. Peace and love, everybody. How y'all doing? Good. Well, as she told you, my name is Ruby D. I'm the goddess entrepreneur. I'm the owner of several companies, but my parent company is Ruby D Artistry. And from that company, I do everything else. I use my mind, I use my hands, and I use my soul. So today, well, I actually met Erica maybe a week ago. We were at the Michael and Joy Morning Show. And of course, she was there doing her thing, and I was there doing mine. And I was actually there speaking about mental health, and the direction of mental health that I was speaking from was I'm an energy healer. I'm all into balancing chakras, positive vibes only. No, I'm not a hippie or anything like that, but it's just something that resonates with me, and it's something that allows me to live life peacefully and happily and just enjoy it for everything that it is. So today, actually for the first quarter of 2018, my focus is going to be on balancing chakras and detachment. And I felt that it was the perfect subject for this particular event because, of course, we're all in here making our vision boards, you know, making plans for where we want to go. But we all have to understand and realize that in order to get to where you're going, you have to leave some things behind and you have to let some things go in order to make room for those things that you are trying to manifest and bring into your life. And for those that are not familiar with what the chakras are, the chakras is not necessarily specific to any religion. So whether you are religious, spiritual, or whatever your preference is, it doesn't matter. But the chakras are the 7 energy centers. We have more than 7, but you know, most are familiar with the 7 energy centers that are associated with different emotional, physical, or spiritual aspects of who we are. And quick question, how many of us are familiar with chakras? That's good. And how many have no idea what I'm talking about? It's okay, because you know, everybody's not familiar with it. Some people just kind of have an idea, and then of course you have people like me that are basically totally into it, and that's completely fine. But with our 7 chakras, they range from here and go to the crown. The first chakra is our root chakra, and that's our survival chakra, which is associated with us being grounded, living in our purpose, feeling that we are safe and secure while we're here. And next is our sacral chakra, which is associated with our creativity, our emotions, our feelings, and our sexuality. Your third chakra is your solar plexus chakra, or your navel chakra, and that particular chakra is associated with your willpower, how you feel about yourself, your self-confidence, and your self-esteem. And if anybody has any questions as I'm talking, just stop me and ask. I know I'm moving kind of fast, but I have a lot of information that I want to share with you, and I don't have a lot of time to do it. But the fourth chakra, which is our heart chakra, is associated with our ability to love, to give love and receive it. The fifth chakra is our throat chakra, which is associated with our ability to speak our truth or communicate effectively. And please understand, communicating effectively is not just being able to speak, but also listen, to understand, not to respond. The next chakra is our third eye chakra, and that is our intuition chakra. That's being able to follow your intuition, see the bigger picture, and I also like to associate it with decision making. And then the last chakra is the crown chakra, which is your connection to the spiritual world, your higher self, letting go of ego. Now that we all know, or now that we all have a good idea of what the chakras are, now we're just going to, get a simple definition of what detachment is, which, of course, we all, for the most part, know what that is. But in the world of manifesting, detachment is being able to let go or separate yourself from what doesn't serve you anymore. And with detachment, we all feel that sometimes if something has happened to us, if we just forget about it, or if it's a particular person, if we just separate from them, that it goes away. It doesn't. If it affects you to any degree emotionally, it's going to continue to affect you until you've found a solution or until you've dealt with it effectively. And sometimes, depending on what the situation is, it may go a lot deeper than you just praying about it, or you just move into a different state, or you feeling like, okay, I've dealt with that. Now also another form of detachment, with us making our vision boards, of course, we know exactly what we want what our outcome to be. So once you put energy into manifesting it, you have to detach from that outcome and trust that everything is going to happen according to plan in order for whatever it is that you're putting on your vision board to happen. So does anybody, are y'all clear on what I'm saying there? Okay, good. Now, what is the connection between the chakras and detachment? Well, in order to be able to detach, to manifest whatever it is that you're putting on your vision boards, you have to be balanced. When you balance your chakras, that means they're all open. It doesn't mean that you're exempt from life happening to you. It doesn't mean that bad things are not going to happen to you. What it means is, as those things happen, you move and you flow through those changes gracefully. Just because something bad happens doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get an attitude and you have to be in your feelings and you have to go off on these people and you got to cut everybody off for the new year and all this other kind of stuff. No, you learn how to deal with it, even if it means you separating yourself from them or just loving them from afar. It can be a person, it can be a thing, it can be a place, it can be a situation, it can even be an ideology. And as you learn to balance your chakras, then you're able to discern what's for you and what's not for you. What is going to be there for you to push you towards your purpose, and you're also going to have, you will also know what not to lean towards, because that's going to pull you away from your purpose, and that's not what you want. Some of us ignore those red flags from the very beginning. I don't know why we do that. Stop that. Don't do that no more. Because in the long run, it's not going to serve you. And then you're going to be like, something told me not to do this. I knew I shouldn't have did it. I knew I shouldn't have been talking to this guy. I knew I shouldn't have been talking to this, whoever. But we have a tendency to ignore that. But when you balance your chakras, you are able to follow your intuition and understand that your intuition is going to strengthen your discernment, so you know what's for you and what's not for you. Follow that. Keep ignoring it if you want to. You're going to be sitting here again with these same vision boards, putting the same thing on the board because you haven't accomplished anything. Let's not do that. Yesterday I was actually scrolling through Facebook like a lot of us do. And of course, on my friends list, I have a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners, a lot of people that are transitioning. And of course, during this time of year, a lot of people are having vision board, parties and gatherings and events and stuff like that. Well, sometimes I think differently and sometimes things just come to mind. And as I'm scrolling and I'm seeing all these vision board events, I'm like, well, who's having the unvision board event? And in my mind, when I thought of an unvision board, I was thinking, if we can put on the board things that we want to attract, then we should also put on the board things that we want to let go of. So we know exactly where we're coming from and where we're moving to. Now, if you get up every morning getting ready to walk out the door and you see your vision board there, and it's just like, okay, I'm going out and I'm working for this. But let's say if something happens, well, let's go back a little bit. If you were to get up, see what you're walking away from, where you're going, and walk out the door, do you think it will push you just a little bit more? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be more impactful if you know, like, for instance, I made me a little makeshift, and I'm using this just for an example. So if it falls apart, it's fine. I was just, you know. But you see, it's much smaller. It doesn't. I don't want it to overshadow this vision board that I'm making, but I need to know that it's there, so it makes a difference. So if I'm working on something on my vision board, and like, for instance, procrastination is on here, and if for some reason I'm procrastinating, it's just like I get to it later. No, I'm gonna come to this board and say, no, I need to work on procrastination in order to manifest whatever it is on this vision board. So what I want you all to do is, even if right now, if you just in your phone, on your notepad, just type in or write down a few things that you're gonna let go of, that you're gonna detach from. And once you finish your vision board, focus on that first. Once you get home, I need you, whatever you wrote down on your list, I need you to write down those things that contribute to your procrastination and stop doing them, or work to stop doing those things. And I really went through that really quick. I thought I was going to be up here a little longer than this, but does anybody have any questions? Y'all ain't got no questions.
It's on point.
Good job. You know, so, oh, sorry. Okay.
Really maintain the balance and staying positive and really open up the chakras? Like, how do you work on it on a day-to-day basis?
Girl, that is such a good question. For me, working on staying balanced is an everyday, every hour, every minute, every second thing. Because right now, I'm having a good time. I can leave out this door and fall and trip and be upset because it's cold outside. And y'all know how I feel when you fall and it's cold outside. It does not feel good. And I can allow that to mess up my whole day. But what I have to do is think about, okay, just get up and regroup and just try to stay as positive about it as I possibly can. But the goal is not to allow it to just ruin the rest of my day. So even if that's me counting to 10, or if that's me doing you know what, I didn't die, I'm still here, I'm good, you know. I'm not scratched up, I'm not scuffed up, just go to the car, nobody saw you, just keep it moving. You know, but I meditate, I do mindfulness meditation, I listen to meditation music, I sing, I like doing karaoke, I'm a creative, I write, I watch cartoons, I do all kinds of stuff, you know, just to stay balanced. But I always make sure that I'm doing something that I enjoy doing, as opposed to doing things that don't make me happy. Because the longer that you focus on things that you love doing and things that make you feel good, you don't have time to focus on those negative things. You don't have time to put energy into things that don't serve you. So, did that answer your question? Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
So you spoke about chakras and the different chakras. How do you balance the chakras? Do you start with one chakra before you move on to another chakra? How do you work through that? How do you know, okay, this chakra is not balanced, I need to balance it better than the other one?
Well, I always recommend trying to balance the root chakra first. And the reason I recommend that first is because that's your foundation. And once you build a strong foundation, then everything else is pretty much easier to balance after that. But I know sometimes for us, because with clients, I actually have a service that's called a chakra consultation. And what I do with that is I have my clients who take a test. And from that test, I'm able to see which chakras are open and which ones are underactive or overactive. And whichever ones are over or underactive, that's the ones that we focus on first. And I would say about 98%, between 98 and 99% of the clients that I've worked with, their root chakras are always underactive. And of course, because it's something that sticks out to me, then I wanted to do more research into it to kind of see if I can find a reason why. And of course, with the root chakra being associated with, or the root chakra being our survival chakra, it has a lot to do with our upbringing. So If we were, whether you were raised in a single parent home or you had both parents in the home, sometimes our parents didn't necessarily work towards their dreams or work to focus on that because, you know, it was all about make sure you go to school, get good grades, so you can go to college and you can get that good job and make that good money. Well, it's unfortunate right now that in order to get that good money, you gotta have like 2 or 3 good jobs, you know, just to, you know, be able to live comfortably. But, and I don't mean to say but, if we were younger and our parents were taught about entrepreneurship and how to run a business and that kind of stuff, then that's the kind of stuff that I feel like would have been instilled in us. But because it wasn't, then we were not, growing up, we were not so much pushed in the direction of entrepreneurship as we were to become employees. So, and in a sense, I feel like that our parents, the reason that they didn't pursue their dreams and goals and stuff like that was because it was fear. It was fear that it wasn't going to be enough. It was fear that, you know, they wouldn't be able to make it. And they instilled that in us. Not to say that they purposely did it, but subconsciously that's what happened. So, of course, as we get older, then we have a fear of pursuing our dreams and pursuing things that we want to do because we don't necessarily know the right way to do it. It's just we kind of jump out there and we kind of feel our way through and, you know, try to get help from others that are like us. But because of our parents' fear that was instilled in us, then it's harder for us to release that because that was something that we've been growing up with all of our life. And it's not the easiest thing to let go. And the other side of that is, for those of us that have children and that are parents, we kind of, in a sense, do that to our own children. Not that we purposely do it, but we don't know anything else. It's like, well, you know, I'm kind of feeling my way through entrepreneurship. I don't exactly know how to do it, but you just make sure you go to school, get good grades, and get a good job, if nothing else. So I always say start there first. And the root chakra is always the hardest because it's kind of like a double-edged sword. But if you can get through that first, then everything else is going to be easy.
So how do you know it's not?
It's you just have to feel it. That's the thing about chakras. It's not like where you can, you know, push this button and it's like, okay, you're balanced. It's just, you just have to feel it. Let's say, for instance, if something happened and let's say, I'm trying to think of something that's associated with the root chakra. If for any reason I'm not even gonna put that out there like that. I'm real picky about the words that I use and how I speak, so that's why I'm saying I'm not gonna put it out there like that. But if something very unfortunate was to happen, then it could either devastate you or push you. And if you're on the side where it's gonna push you, then you're more balanced than the person that it would devastate. Because it's all about how you deal with it and how you react to situations. You look at it more as an opportunity as opposed to something that's detrimental in a problem. Right.
I recently chose to do this. It's so funny, that's why I've been shaking my head the whole time, because I feel like you're talking to me like the whole time. But that is like my life. Like my parents were like that. Even like now at times I'm more outspoken than they are. And they're just kind of like, well, how did you get that? Because they know that they didn't get that. The most we were told was to get out of high school. You know, so now it's like, now that I got out of high school and had some college, it's like, okay, now I'm pushing my own child to do more than that.
Right.
You know, and graduate college, even now, I'm telling him about money and credit and investing and stuff like that, but I still don't know where I got it from. You know, so it's every day I'm working on, like you said, I would let a bump to me ruin my whole day.
So I even just gave it to myself to just say, and I didn't know anything about what is it,
Chakras.
Chakras. I didn't know anything about it until just now when you were mentioning it, but I gave it to myself to say, okay, I'm gonna live a more positive life. But that was just last year. So I just woke up, that was my New Year's resolution last year, was to become a more positive person. So whatever it was, even with people, I didn't cut them off. I just was like, you know what? Every day is gonna be your life. I live my own life, but I still don't know where I got that from. So that's interesting that, you know,
It's just an instinct. I mean, we instinctively have these things built within us that the more we use them, the stronger it becomes.
Yeah.
For some of us, we just completely ignore it because we focus so much on something outside of us. And that thing within us is saying, I'm here, listen to me, I'm here. And for some of us, one day we just wake up and be like, okay, I'm listening, what's up? Let's discuss this. Others, it's still, some of us don't really pay attention to it, but it's there within all of us. It's just at some particular point, it either becomes strong enough where you listen to it or you either just continue to ignore it. So that's all it was. I mean, with me and always discussing chakras, to me that's something at this point I'm passionate about because mental health for us is a big issue, and different types of mental health such as depression, anxiety, stress, and we don't know how to effectively deal with it. Well, you don't know how to effectively deal with it because you don't really know where it stems from. And when you start to experience it, you don't even know why you're feeling this stuff. You just know that I thought this was going to happen and it's a disappointment and you feel bad about it. But with me talking about chakras, people are like, oh, well, that's what that is. And that's how that's what I need to do to fix it. And now it's just like, okay, now that you know what it is, and now you have to start actively working to allow it to make a difference. We don't have to be stressed because we got to go get some gas because we didn't feel like stopping last night before we got home. It's like, why you going to let that mess up your whole day? Because you got to stop at the gas station early in the morning and it's cold outside and you already late for work. It's really not that serious. So, any other questions? Okay, she's going to be the last one because I don't, the other speaker has to go and, but y'all can, catch me on the flip side.
How can we connect with you?
I have cards that I can give everybody, but let me go ahead.
You spoke about meditation. What do you find? I mean, I know it's hard in the beginning to even get yourself to be disciplined to sit down and quiet, with yourself. So, what do you feel is the most effective way to meditate, and how do you do it?
Girl, I love that question too. Thank you. Of course, when we think of meditation, just like she said, I don't have time to sit down and be quiet and sit Indian style in the dark room in the middle and just for a whole hour. I can't even I like to create meditation styles that are conducive to whatever your lifestyle is. Like I always recommend shower meditation because everybody take a shower every day. That's your alone time. You just have to learn how to use it effectively. So with shower meditation, as you're cleansing yourself and the water is going down the drain, just imagine you wiping or washing away all of that negativity or anything that you need to let go. And as it goes down the drain, just imagine all of that stuff just washing away. And the water that's coming out of the shower head, imagine that as being those things that you want to attract into your life. All of that positive energy is replenishing you. And, that's a quick way to get meditation in without having to set time aside or, go through all of that other stuff. But it's just a matter of coming up with creative ways to meditate that is going to be beneficial for you and fit your lifestyle. So, Miss Erica K, I'm done for right now. It was such a pleasure to speak with you all. I really appreciate you all listening and asking questions. Like I said, I love doing this. And I look forward to speaking with you all a little more. Thank you.